Welcome back to This Kid's Opinion, and today I'm going to give you all my upsets bracket. I've already released several bracket videos. Make sure to go check those out to help you fill out your March Madness bracket, because this year's tough. There's a lot of tough matchups, so hopefully these videos will help you out to pick your matchups. But this one's going to be for the best upsets, so let's kick things off with Auburn. I'm going to have them move on. And Creighton is a great, technically it's a upset, 9/8. Not really. These 8-9 matchups are always so even, but they could easily win this game, so you can take Creighton here. UC San Diego over Michigan. This is one of the toughest 12v5 upsets I've seen in a very long time. UC San Diego can definitely lock up Trey Donaldson, and then that leaves the two bigs, Danny Wolf and Vladislav Golden. UC San Diego does not have good rebounding. They could definitely allow a lot of offensive rebounds, so that's why I'm going to pick Michigan in my official bracket, but I could definitely see UC San Diego moving on. A&M, Yale. Yale has really good offense, and they have solid rebounding as well, so they could definitely upset Texas A&M, so I'm going to take it here. I don't see Ole Miss losing to either San Diego State or Carolina. I think Carolina has a better chance than San Diego State, so I'm going to go with Ole Miss still. Lipscomb, Iowa State. Lipscomb is a good offensive team, but Iowa State has good offense and good defense, so I don't see this upset happening here. New Mexico Marquette, I picked this one in my official bracket, so I definitely advise this one if you're going for a 10/7 here. And Michigan State Bryant. Bryant's an alright team. They're actually not that bad. However, I think there is a more likely 15/2 upset, so I'm not going to take it here. But Bryant's a pretty good team, so don't count them out totally. Creighton over Auburn. This is an interesting one because they do have Ryan Kalkbrenner who can guard the paint against Janai Broome, but they don't have the offensive or they don't have the 3-point defensive guards that I like to beat a team like Auburn. So I'm gonna pass on this upset right here. Yale, San Diego State. I could see Yale. They're a good rebounding team, so I could definitely see them out rebound UC San Diego. So that's technically an upset right there. That would be a terrific game. Auburn versus Yale in the rematch from last season. Yale upset them in the first round, so that'd be a great rematch. Ole Miss, Iowa State. Does Ole Miss have a great chance of beating this team? Not really. They don't have enough offensive guys, in my opinion, to take down this defense of Iowa State. They just have more scoring guards than just straight up Sean Padula and Ole Miss, so I wouldn't take it that there. New Mexico, Michigan State. I could see Donovan Dent taking over this game. Other guys making shots as well. So, do I take it here though? I think Michigan State could be prone to an upset early. I have them going to the Final Four in my bracket, but I definitely see them being upset. Am I gonna take it here? That's tough, man. That's tough. This is a tough one. Yeah, let's go with it. I'm gonna go New Mexico over Michigan State, and then. Does Yale beat Auburn? I think that's a stretch. I'm going to go Auburn in this one. I think this Yale team is not as good as the one last season. Iowa State, New Mexico. I think Iowa State might have too much defense for this New Mexico State team. They could lock up Donovan Dent, and they're pretty much screwed at that point. So I'm going to take Iowa State here. And I could definitely see Iowa State beating Auburn. They have some solid athletic bigs. I definitely see Jefferson going against Janai Broome, and they have good perimeter defense. So let's go Iowa State making it to the Final Four, upsetting Auburn. So that's going to do it for the South region. Let's now head to the West region. Florida, Norfolk State. I don't see it happening here. Oklahoma beating UConn could happen. So why not, just for the heck of it. Memphis, Colorado State, this could definitely happen. I think Colorado State has pretty solid defense, rebounding to go against Memphis, who have pretty good rebounding in themselves, but they are streaky at times. They turn the ball over a lot. Colorado State does not really turn the ball over, so solid 12v5 right here. Grand Canyon versus Maryland. I'm really high in this Maryland team. Their starting five is really good, but they don't have a bench. Could you take this Grand Canyon team? Yeah, I'm not going to for this bracket. And Drake versus Missouri. I think Drake is going to steamroll, or no, I think Missouri is going to steamroll Drake. But for the sake of this bracket, I'm going to have Drake move on. They are a slow-paced, really good defensive team, and they have Ben Sturtz, who is pretty much their main scorer, averages 20 points a game. Good shooting, driving, scoring point guard, can also play make. So Maybe he takes over against Missouri. Maybe Mark Mitchell has a cold game and they lose. So let's go Drake in this one. UNC Wilmington, Texas Tech. I don't see happening here. I really like Texas Tech as a team. Arkansas could definitely beat Kansas. I don't think it will happen, but they definitely could. Maybe DJ Wagner heats up. Maybe they finally get healthy. Maybe Adu is able to guard Hunter Dickinson. So let's go for Arkansas in this matchup here. And Omaha versus St. John's. Maybe the offense is too much for St. John's. I don't think it will be. Not a bona fide upset there. And then I don't see Oklahoma beating Florida. Colorado State versus Maryland. I think for the sake of this video, let's have Colorado State move on as a Cinderella team. And then Drake versus Texas Tech. Can Drake slow down the really good offense and solid defense of Texas Tech? I think that's a stretch. I think Texas Tech is too deep for Drake. And St. John's versus Arkansas. I think St. John's is a way better team than Arkansas. I'll go for them there. Texas Tech could definitely upset St. John's, so I'm going to have them move on. And I don't think Colorado State has enough guys. I don't think they have enough of a bench to match Florida. And I think I could definitely see Texas Tech upsetting Florida. They can match them on the offense, and they have a solid defense as well. So I think they do have what it takes to beat a team like Florida. So I'll have Texas Tech move on to the Final Four, joining Iowa State as a fellow 3 seed. And then the East, we'll have Duke move on, and then we'll have Baylor beat Mississippi State. I have them beating Mississippi State in my bracket. And then Liberty versus Oregon. Liberty has good 3-point defense, so they can shut down the guards of Oregon, the many good shooting guards of Oregon. So that's a plausible upset right there. And then Akron versus Arizona. I don't see it happening. I really like this Arizona team this year. VCU, definitely I have them beating BYU in my bracket. This team has a really good defense. They're also a really good rebounding team. I could definitely see them beating BYU by locking up their 3-point shooters. And if they can't make threes, BYU will not win a game this tournament. And then Montana, Wisconsin. I really like this Wisconsin team. I don't see them losing to Montana. Vanderbilt could definitely beat St. Mary's. They have a pretty good offense. St. Mary's could get cold on offense and not be able to match them there. And I don't see Alabama losing in the first round. I don't think Baylor has a chance to beat Duke, so I won't take that upset there. And then let's have Liberty move on against Arizona like they did against Oregon. Let's say they lock up Caleb Love, James Bradley, RJ Lewis, and shut down the offense of Arizona. And then VCU over Wisconsin could definitely happen. Maybe they lock up John Blackwell, John Tonje. And they also have some solid bigs to go against Noah Winter and Stephen Crow. And I don't see Vanderbilt beating Alabama. I'll have Alabama move on. Duke, Liberty. I think this is where Liberty's run ends, unfortunately, against the really deep and good Duke team this season. VCU, Alabama. This is a tough one. I think we'll have VCU move on, beat Alabama. And then do they have enough to take down Duke? Let's say they do. A huge upset right here to make the Final Four. VCU over Duke. Congrats to them in this bracket. And then we got Houston. I think this is going to be a bloodbath in the first round for Houston. Can Georgia beat Gonzaga? Actually, for this upset bracket, I think it's more likely that Gonzaga would upset Houston more than Georgia. So I'll actually have Gonzaga move on. McNeese over Clemson. I don't think this is going to happen. I don't really like this McNeese team. I really like this Clemson team, so I won't take 12v5 here. And I'll take High Point over Purdue. I had this in my official bracket. I think this team has really good ball handling. They don't turn the ball over. They have solid shooting. I think they could definitely beat Purdue, who have a cold night. And then Illinois could definitely lose to Texas or Xavier, but I'm going to have to move on for this bracket. Troy, I don't think Troy's that good. I'm surprised they're as high as a 14 seed. I'll have Kentucky beat Troy here. Utah State could definitely beat UCLA. They are a pretty balanced team. They have good offense and defense. UCLA has a couple good offensive guys. Mac, Billadu. They have a solid defensive foundation, but Utah State could definitely beat them. Wofford's going to beat Tennessee in this bracket. If you watched my official bracket video, I kept saying that Wofford. I really wanted to pick Wofford over Tennessee. I just picture it. I didn't end up picking it for mine because I think Tennessee, that would just be an insane upset. But Wofford has really good 3-point shooting, and what is a weakness of Tennessee? Their 3-point defense. So I definitely see this happening right here. So we'll have Wofford beat Tennessee. And then we got Houston versus the Zags. Am I going to have Gonzaga beat them in this one? In the analytics bracket video, Gonzaga won it all. So I'm going to say for this video, I'm going to say Houston wins this one. Just because Gonzaga already won one of these videos, these bracket videos. And Clemson High Point could definitely beat Clemson. They could definitely play solid defense against Chase Hunter, match the pace of Clemson. Ian Shefflin is a big worry against High Point, but for this video, I'll have High Point move on. And then Illinois beating Kentucky, I think is very unlikely. And then Wofford, Utah State. Wofford moves on, man. The dream is still alive for them. And then we got Houston High Point. I think this is where High Point's run ends against one of the best one seeds recent memory. I really like this Houston team. The fact that they're considered the third one seed in this tournament, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. I think Duke honestly could have moved in front of Auburn, and then Houston could have slid into the number 2 slot. But that's just me. Kentucky, Wofford. We're going Wofford, baby. We're going Wofford. Are we, though? Kentucky could beat Houston. Kentucky could beat Houston. Because I don't think Wofford has a chance against Houston. What's the farthest run we've had? We have an 11 seed go on. Huh. We're gonna have Wofford move on. Why not? This team definitely kind of lucked its way into March Madness. They were, I want to say they were like the 5th or 6th seed in their conference tournament, but they just got hot at the right moment. I'm gonna say the dream is alive. They somehow beat Kentucky and advance to take on Houston, but they're not good enough to beat Houston. Houston's going to lock up the 3-point shooters, and Wofford will not be able to beat Houston. And here's our final 4 for the upsets bracket. We got Iowa State, Texas Tech, VCU, and the Houston Cougars. Who's going to win between Iowa State, Texas Tech? No real upset happening here. I'm going to have Texas Tech advance on. I really like the amount of shooting they have and the balance of defense. JT Toppin can put the ball on the floor as a big man. Could be deadly against Iowa State. And VCU versus Houston. VCU lives on, man. I think this is a really close game, but because it is an upsets bracket, let's just say VCU somehow wins. And then let's have them beat Texas Tech to win the upsets bracket. VCU, really solid team. The only thing that worries me about this team is that they don't have like the offensive player that a lot of these Cinderella teams have, but overall they're a really balanced team, and I think they can make deep runs in this year's March Madness. So we'll have VCU, and let's officially get them as the winner of this bracket. Let's say they win in a tight one. Let's say 62-54, and that's going to do it. VCU is going to win the TKO upsets bracket. And I know it says TKO Analytics first bracket. I forgot to change it after the last video I just recorded. Don't worry about that. This is the TKO upsets bracket. And we got VCU winning. So that's going to do it, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe for more March Madness content. I make way more than just March Madness content. I make album reviews, movie, TV show reviews. I'll talk about anything in pop culture. So make sure to like, subscribe to see all those videos. But I'm just a kid, and this is my opinion.